Everybody, Charlie here at the Miami Sharks headquarters with Sean McNulty. How are you doing, Sean?
Very well. How are you?
You're one of the top try scorers at this point, right? Maybe?
I don't know if I'm the top, but I'm
within the Sharks.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I've scored one of the few we scored, so yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
that's a good start.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, tell us a little bit about your upbringing in rugby, where you're from.
Yeah.
How was that path?
Yeah, so I'm Irish. I was actually born in London, and then shortly after I was born in London, I moved to New York.
Oh, okay.
So moved around a little bit as a kid. I spent about 10 years in New York.
But did you play rugby in New York?
No, never, no. So I don't think rugby was kind of 95 to 2006, so rugby wasn't massive back then. But I heard about rugby because my dad played it.
Okay.
So I always heard about it, but never played. Grew up playing like ice hockey and soccer and a few of those American sports. And then I started playing rugby when I moved back to Ireland at about 11 or 12.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And for what I've read, you had a nice career path there. Talk us, how did you progress in the system? Because you ended up playing with the U20 national team, right?
Yep. So the school I went to was a pretty famous rugby school. It's a boarding school in Tipperary called Rockwell College. So that's why I started playing rugby in my first year there.
Any famous names from the school? Because I really like to put those pictures on the hall, right?
So Dennis Leamy was an international number 8, really good player. Had to retire young with injury, but he was amazing. You have JJ Hanrahan, who's playing for Connacht right now. Who else? My brother is the captain of the Irish Sevens team, so he went there. Currently the current captain of the Irish Sevens team. Yeah, wow. So he went there. So yeah, a few guys who kind of come through the academy systems and stuff like that, and played in England and stuff. So started playing in Rockwell. It wasn't amazing when I started off, as you'd imagine. It took me probably until my last 2 years to probably really kick on. Had a bit of a growth spurt. And then
and let me ask you this, because in these schools, rugby is like a big thing, right?
Yep.
If you make the first 15,
you're
it's like in the States here. You're
varsity football or something like that. Yeah. So we call it the Senior Cup. So you make the Senior Cup team. So I was fortunate enough to make that in 5th and 6th year, which is like my junior and senior year essentially. And then from there, if you play well enough, you can get selected for the provincial team, which at the time was Munster, when I went to school in Munster. So I came through the Munster underage grade system with 18s, 19s and 20s.
That's some sort of like an academy?
Yes, so it's while you're still in school or in the underage setup, they have, again, under 18s to 20s teams. And then after that, you would progress potentially into an academy, which is a full-time contract training with the senior team of the province. So while I was in school, I played for the Ireland under-18 schoolboys team. And then when I graduated, I actually moved to Dublin, and that's where Leinster is based. So I played for the UCD, which is the university team. And then after my Irish under-20s seasons, I was fortunate enough to join the Leinster Academy.
So you did play one of these U20 championships?
Yep. So I played this.
Which is some great rugby. It's
that was incredible.
The best of high school and men combined.
Yeah, it was incredible.
It's so intense and so creative.
Yeah.
How did you do? Because it's always,
Yeah, I don't think we finished too well. We had a tough pool. We actually played Argentina in the first game, which was incredibly tough. And then we beat them, and then we lost to New Zealand in the second one. And if you look at their team now, it's pretty incredible. I think their whole back line played for the All Blacks. So pretty incredible. And then I can't remember where we finished. It was mid-table somewhere. We didn't come to the top anyway, but it was an unbelievable experience. Fortunate enough to play in the under-20 Six Nations and then the under-20s World Cup. So it's a great time.
So then you started in
Leinster.
In Leinster.
Yep. Yeah. So I joined the Leinster Academy in I think 2015, right after that World Cup, which is incredible because you're.
Is that already like a professional contract or?
Yeah. So you get a 3-year academy deal. Well, it's an academy contract, so it's obviously you're not paid very well, but you're training with the first team all the time. You're in all their meetings, so you're sitting in meetings with Johnny Sexton and Jamie Heaslip and all these guys. So it's pretty incredible to see how they operate at that top level and train with them and just the intensity, and yeah, it was pretty awesome.
So, and after that, you came to the States?
Yeah. So I finished up in Leinster in 2018. Didn't get an extension on my contract, and then around that time, MLR was kind of kicking off. I think they'd just done their first season. So I'm American qualified, so I was looking at options at what to do after my time at Leinster finished, and through friend of mine. He was the head coach at Yale, and he used to be the backs coach of the Eagles, Greg McWilliams. Okay. Irish guy, and he kind of just recommended the MLR path and said there was a lot of potential there. So came over then in 2019, I think.
Which was the first team? Because you've been in a bunch of teams. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, I've touched a few teams. Yeah, so I came over to the New England Free Jacks originally.
Free Jacks, okay.
Yep. And I was there, and then unfortunately in our first season, COVID hit. Yeah. So season got shut down after 4 or 5 games. So I ended up back in Ireland for about a year for COVID, and during that time, Los Angeles Guiltinis was announced as the new expansion team for the following year. And because the 7 series was actually cancelled for COVID as well, my brother was looking at new opportunities, and he actually started talking to the Guiltinis first, and then a pretty cool opportunity came up for both of us to go there.
So you played together?
Yeah. So we played together in that first Guiltini season and won a championship, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was short-lived.
Yeah, it was,
but,
yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah, it was a pretty incredible life experience and rugby experience. Like, it was amazing.
And then you moved to what team?
So once in my second year in Guiltinis, the team unfortunately got disqualified towards the end of that season. So I went up and I went to Seattle for the last maybe 4 or 5 games of that 2022 season, I think it was.
Probably.
Yeah, so like I said, unfortunately Guiltinis were out. I was fortunate on one end for Seattle to want me to come up. Yeah. And actually got to the final.
Different weather, right?
Different weather, but it was coming into the summer. So Pacific Northwest is beautiful in the summer. But yeah, so we were fortunate enough to reach the final that year. But we lost to New York in the final, but cool experience for me playing in my second final. And then moving on to my next team then. So because I'd come from LA, I really liked the beach and that kind of Southern California lifestyle, and during that off season after the final, San Diego called me and said they were looking for a hooker and asked me if I'd be interested to come down. And yeah, again, just kind of suiting my lifestyle and the opportunity that was there, I jumped on that opportunity and I moved back down to San Diego last year. And, yeah.
What made you come to Miami?
I think it's just an incredible opportunity. I enjoyed my time at San Diego, but on reflection during the off season, I felt like it was probably the best move for me to move on. And I had a couple of friends at Miami, Dan Pryor, Matthias Fryer, just chatting to them behind the scenes, just hearing a little bit about what the plans were here, the vision of the club. Obviously, we have an incredible ownership group. Miami's an incredible city. I've spent
minus the traffic, right?
Not minus the traffic, yeah, but the weather's incredible. Training at InterMiami, there's a bit of a buzz about it. I really liked the idea of being part of the first ever. Yeah. I was part of the first ever LA team, and that was an incredible experience. And I just think it was too cool of an opportunity not to try it. And fortunately, they were looking for a hooker at the time, so I made that happen.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the first game against Chicago.
Yeah.
How was that experience for you? As far as the crowd and the environment?
It was incredible. I remember driving up, because it was sunny all day, and I remember I got in the car driving up to InterMiami, and I just started seeing like lightning shooting. I was like, oh God, this could be bad.
Like, we used to it, man.
I know,
it's
but
gonna be like this every time.
Yeah, but just a little bit of fear kicked in that, our first ever match might get cancelled. We've been waiting for this one for a while. I heard lightning, could throw it off. So got up there, but man, I was surprised. Even like we arrived 2 hours before kickoff, and there's people in the car park already. They had tents up and barbecuing in the rain, and I was like, oh damn, like this would be sweet. And then we're in the locker room doing our own thing, and then a few of us coming up for warm up, and like the crowd in the car park like filled. You could tell everyone's having a good time despite the rain.
Yeah.
And then, I think there's a lightning delay, so that pushed everything back. So it was a bit of a fear that people wouldn't stick around, obviously a bit of rain and the half an hour delay. But then when we came out for our actual warm-up, it was like, holy shit, it was unbelievable. Like, there was an unbelievable buzz. The crowd were so loud, stuck with it the whole 80 minutes, even in the rain and weather. and like during the warm up, I remember I was going around to a few of the boys, and like they were all just like, "Shit, this is unreal," which was sick. Yeah, it was one of the cooler experiences I've had.
So you have as you have been playing with so many teams, you sort of can get to compare this experience. This is a sort of a unique experience when you just start a team, of course.
Yep.
So compared to other teams you've played in, what's the difference with this Miami Sharks team?
I've had incredible experiences, all the teams we've gone to, but there's I don't know, there's something special about this team, I think. It's a really hard job, for an organization to come together, and in 4 weeks of preseason you play your first game. That's a really tough task, but I think just the way the boys have really come together, like we're a really close-knit group, considering we didn't know each other almost 2 months ago, and now like we're really, really close. And one of our pillars in the team is family, having a real family aspect. Like, we all live in the same apartment building. We often cook each other dinners. Like, we're hanging out all the time.
Family with you here?
No, I'm by myself. So it's nice to have the boys so close, and like just get on really, really well.
For the ladies, you're available?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Ladies, you know where to find me. Yeah.
Saturdays.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I think we gelled really close. We're quite a young team, one of the younger teams I've actually played on, so there's a lot of just like buzz and energy around, and yeah, it's awesome. It's really cool. Obviously having, a ton of South Americans on the team, Latino community in Miami, I think it suits.
Have they made you drink mate yet?
Every morning.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I sit down at the pool every morning,
nice.
have a mate.
Oh, this is a great place to drink mate.
No, it's amazing. Yeah,
I'll be coming.
No, we have asado here. We have the mate. It's getting right into the old culture.
So what is we've gone already 3 games. It's been like a wow.
Flown by, yeah.
And I guess for you guys, it's been very intense. All this traveling, you might have, I don't know, 10,000 miles already logged in. But it went really quick. What is your assessment of the team after these 3 games?
Look, I think we're, like I said, I think we've come together really well. A lot of the outside noise was saying, we've got the hardest start to a campaign with Seattle away and Houston away. So we focus on us. Like, that's all we really can do, because we're a new team. We don't have anything to go on past experience or previous games. So it's just, what can we do? And if you look at all those games, we haven't got the result, but I think we were right into the 80th minute.
The results were close.
They were close. I mean Houston scored that right in the 81st, which spread them up a little bit. But I mean, I think we're here to stay. Yeah.
Okay. So Sean, I want you to. I'm going to give you my Florida hat for a second here.
Yep.
And I want you to invite people this next Saturday against the Carolina Anthem, 7 p.m. next to the InterMiami Stadium.
Yep.
Invite the Florida
community. Like you said, get on down to InterMiami this Saturday. We're playing the Anthem. It's our second home game. We're chasing our first win. And, if the crowd is anything like it was last time, hopefully even better, it'd be awesome. I know the players really enjoy it. And, we're looking forward to having you out.
And bring your ponchos.
Bring your poncho. Hopefully you won't need it, but it's good to have just in case. And bring a friend.
Yeah. Hey man, thank you very much.
Hey,
looking forward
thanks so
to
much.
see your first win this Saturday.
Absolutely.